Right, no time for silly intro gags today, kids, because this is the new Kia EV4 and there is an awful lot to talk about in not very much time. What is it? Well, you can think of it as a low-slung alternative to the EV3 crossover, but what Kia wants you to think of it as, what they want it to become, is the Golf for the electric age. You remember how in its heyday the Golf was just the car? It was the go-to car for anyone that just wanted some car, an all-rounder, a versatile do-anything vehicle. That is what Kia envisages, I think, for this new EV4. Which makes it all the more bonkers that it's one of 3 all-new electric vehicles that they have unveiled just today at this event in Barcelona. We've also seen the new PV5 van, whole video on that, coming separately, and there's a little EV2 Concept, which we'll give you a little peek at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Oh, I'm just hearing that actually in the time it's taken us to do this intro, Kia has unveiled another 5 new electric cars. 2 SUVs, a sports car, one with legs instead of... Yes, Duracell ad.
We've teamed up with Duracell Energy to celebrate their brilliant ecosystem of home energy products and their Platinum Homeowner offer by giving away a Duracell Bunny. To win, simply watch to the end and answer a question about fully charged.
Now, first thing I want to do at the top of the video is just refresh everyone's memories on what my personal opinions are on the Kia EV3, which this is very, very closely related to. I think it is the best in class. I think if you're looking for a practical electric family hauler, there is no better on sale right now. I'm a huge fan of that car. So this thing, which is basically a non-SUV version, should be catnip for me. And incidentally, fair play to Kia for continuing to bother making hatchbacks and saloons. This is available as both and not just SUVs. Interesting strategy that Kia are employing in terms of how to attack electric versus petrol. Basically, they've just decided to flood both markets in all segments. So whatever size or shape of car you want, whatever fuel type you want, they will have a car for you. BMW are doing something quite similar, but the difference is that most of the electric Kias are bespoke EVs and not just the petrol car with some batteries in it. And just quickly on this, interesting to note that Kia are flooding the market with new models at a time when almost every other brand is really tightening their belt straps and thinning out their model line. That to me speaks to a brand that is doing quite well at the moment. Having said that, my honest first impression of this thing is, it's kind of ugly. Kind of weird looking, I think. I sort of looked at it in the photos and thought that looks pretty weird. Maybe it'll be better in the metal, and I'm not sure that it is. There's a lot going on. There's certain angles. Look at the shape of that bonnet section there. Look how many different lines and creases there are just in this one section at the front. Look at the way that rear window ends and then goes into this C-pillar. It's, from certain angles, quite odd. You know, Kia have been quite adventurous with their design language in recent years. The saloon, side on, looks really cool. It's got a lovely kind of boat tail rear deck. That's the one I'd have. I think they're going to push the hatch especially hard in Europe, but you will be able to get both. Other thing worth noting is this thing is slippery. 0.23 drag coefficient, which is substantially lower than its closest sibling, the EV3. And let's remember, the EV3, when we tested it in Korea, was an easy 300-mile car with the bigger battery. This, with improved aerodynamics, should be a genuine 350-plus electric car in the right conditions. Let's quickly talk about the hardware. Breaking news, it's the same as the Kia EV3, which means 2 battery options, 55 or 78 kilowatt hour usable, front wheel drive, single motor, 0 to 60 times, depending on which one you go for. They're in the mid 7s either way, 7.4 or 7.7 seconds. Ample for this sort of car. I don't want more acceleration than that in a non-performance variant of an EV. And of course, vehicle to load, vehicle to grid as standard. EGMP platform, we know it, we love it. It's really good. It charges quickly and it allows lots of room inside. As for what has changed, well, the main one that I've already mentioned is the improved efficiency relative to the EV3. And it's not, by the way, just because it's got a smaller frontal area. It's also got a cover underneath the body just to make it nice and smooth under there, good for airflow and what have you. So it's got huge range. And just quickly on this, it's noticeable how fast brands are improving the efficiency and range of their vehicles. We've been tooling around in the new facelifted Kia EV6 recently, and it is significantly, noticeably more efficient than its predecessor. And it's just so satisfying to see how good brands are getting at extracting those extra miles out of the same size of battery, instead of just adding extra battery. Other things that are new for this car, well, there's a load of software tweaks. We've got iPedal 3.0, which is the latest version of Kia's regen braking. It now memorizes the setting you left it on from last time, which is really appreciated. Also works going in reverse, which I think is quite fun. There's a new AI-powered voice command system, because of course there is, and it gets the latest version of Kia's digital key technology, which now works with Apple Watches. Good news if you're a dork. Cameraman Andy wears an Apple Watch that's directed at him. Interior of the new EV4. Long story short, it's an EV3 in here, and I'm so okay with that because I love the EV3 interior. I think it's one of the best on sale right now. It's one of the reasons it's one of my favorite new electric cars. Why? Well, because it's just been thought about. People have lived with it and tested it and made sure it actually works in the real world, in your real life. You've got the big easy to hit buttons and switches for the stuff that you'd want them for. Rarer and rarer, those are becoming. You've got proper buttons on the steering wheel. You've got a ton of useful storage, and it just looks interesting. I like the two-tone, I like the shapes of the buttons on the door and the shape of the door handle. And I like how even the slightly cheaper plastic elements have a real sense of solidity to them. It is such a good cabin. And the good news is, I'm doing okay for headroom in here, despite this not being an SUV like everything else in the world. I haven't suffered too much on the headroom department. I've still got pretty good visibility. Let's see about the back. All right, I'm going to get in quickly because looking at this rear section is making my eyes hurt. Back seats, yeah, that's good. Great news on the headroom front. I mean, I'm really having to sit up straight to touch the roof at all. The thing you notice when you're in a non-SUV EV is the floor tends to be a bit higher because, of course, there's a battery under there. So my knees are a little bit high, but this is a roomy back seat. And let's remember, this is a C-segment car. This is golf-sized. That is a very agreeable amount of space for a large adult like myself. Ah, much better. I like this angle. Let's just stay back here. From here, good-looking car. I like the hatch. I like the big rear DRLs. I'm not so sure about this. That's not as big as a boot as the enormous cover for it suggests. The lid's like this, and then the opening is like that once you get inside. Okay, not enormous. Okay, well, that's a useful first look at the EV4. Let's go look at something a lot prettier. Ooh, look at this tough little fella. This is the EV2 Concept, and it is, well, it's a sight for sore eyes after the slightly fussy and overcomplicated design of the EV4. This is a lovely little thing. And we don't normally worry too much about concept cars at fully charged, but the thing about recent Kia models is the production cars have looked almost exactly like their concept. EV9, perfect example. And this, well, it kind of just looks like a little tiny baby EV9, doesn't it? There's a few concepty details inside which we'll kind of gloss over, but here's what I'm actually noticing. For one, it's a little bit bigger than I thought it was. In my head, I expected EV2 to be an Insta. Hyundai Insta, but the Kia version. This is actually kind of just one size bigger. It's a little bit more boxy and chunky. It is a physically larger car, and from what we're hearing, early indications are it's going to be a slightly more expensive car than the Insta, which is in the low 20,000s. This is going to be higher 20,000s. I guess the EV1, when it eventually arrives, will be the kind of Insta equivalent. Another thing I expect to see make production, lots of body protection, lots of protruding plastic. Any direction that you ding this thing, the first thing that's going to hit a wall is some protective plastic, like, you know, a Dacia spring. That's good. It makes it cheaper to fix and cheaper to repair. That's a lot of wheel. That's a concept car sized wheel. I don't think that the production EV2 is going to be riding on 20s But they're a very nice design. I'd like to see the kind of ones with the square inserts like that find their way to production. Yeah, the interior is the most concept-y bit, I would say. Though I do like that funky material across the dash, and I like the two-tone with the red accents, and I like the triangular Bluetooth speakers mounted in the door that you can remove and take with you to the park. Don't think they'll be making production, nor the suicide doors, sadly, because I like those too. And let's just finish around the back, because I think this might actually be the best angle. Look at that, that is a really funky little design. Super, super wide with the brake lights. They do this, Kia, just to give width to their vehicles. The EV4 has the same thing, but it's just a lot simpler and cleaner. Less creases is sometimes more, and I think this is perfect evidence of that after the EV4. It's a lovely looking thing. Ooh, okay, excited for this. There you have it, 2 cars for the price of 1. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the EV4. Was I being harsh about the design? Do you think maybe? Maybe. What about the EV2? Are you excited to see it in production form? I certainly am. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and if you have been, thanks for watching.
We're really excited to partner with Duracell Energy to showcase their amazing renewable energy solutions. If you want to reduce your energy bills and join the renewable energy transition, installing home battery storage and solar panels at home is a great way to start. Duracell Energy's ecosystem of products typically partners with solar panels, but they can be just as effective without it, particularly for electric vehicle owners or anyone looking to take control of their energy. And with Duracell Energy's Platinum Homeowner offer, viewers can get a custom service that pairs you with top quality products and the best installers in your area. Your installation also comes with a 20-point check, a 6-month performance review, system health checks at 3 and 10-year periods, and outstanding local UK customer support every step of the way. Duracell Energy's batteries, inverters and EV chargers work together on one easy-to-use app. With features like dynamic tariff integration and grid services, you'll be able to maximise your return. Ready to get started? You can get your quote today. And don't forget, we're also giving away a Duracell Energy Bunny in every episode. Just answer the question about Fully Charged by following the link in the description. Good luck!